It's been almost exactly a year since we started living in the house, and so we wanted to do an update video, kind of show what's been going on around the place. We've got it's kind of our multi-purpose spot. We've got mulch, grass clippings, and trees to be mulched. We've got our bluebird house, which has 4 eggs in it right now. Thank you, Paul. And the back pasture, with the help of Neil, one of my buddies from work, cleared about 150 little elms out of here. That's where some of that mulch came from. I'm trying to kind of clear it out, but we've really got to burn it next year. So when we moved in, this garden area was packed full of elm trees. And there are probably another 100, 150 elm trees in here. The biggest probably 3 inches, maybe 4. But with the help of family, we grubbed all those out, and now we have raised bed gardens. So we kind of followed in the design of the previous tenants and just kind of copied them. So right now, on the far end, we have peppers, and then corn, and potatoes, and there will be sweet potatoes in the other side of it. Here come when it warms up. We have tomatoes and carrots. We have leaf lettuce and snow peas and one holdout rhubarb from the previous owner. And then we have an asparagus patch that we just added to. It was already populated when we got here. We're kind of hitting the tail end of it, and we're letting them go to seed. And then a bunch of onions. Okay, on the edges we put, these are thornless blackberries. We've got 4 plants. And then raspberries. Around the property we've pretty much waged war on all the elms. So here's one we took down a little while ago. This one would have been sucking water out of our garden and definitely shading it. Another elm that we took out was a pretty big one. When we moved in, half of it was laying in the yard there, and it had actually come down and it took out part of the roof of the barn. Something we still need to repair, but a little bit of damage from it. But the tree itself was at a pretty precarious angle. Looked like it'd come down on a car if you parked one in any of the spots over here. So we dropped it, and now it's firewood and more mulch. One of our biggest projects has been the greenhouse, although it's kind of been on hold lately. We've got roofing materials and Solex to go on it, so it should be good for another 15 years once we have it roofed. It's just a matter of doing it. We've got a trash trailer, so we haul all our own trash. It saves actually a lot of money. One of the things we've been really devoted to is getting new trees in. This is a black tupelo, and then put in 2 Oregon Trail maples. There's a huge one in Hiawatha that these are created off of. There's one there, there's one way up front. Here's a little different perspective. Right there we've got our growing tree pile. It's stuff to be mulched. I have a few of those laying around the place. But in this area, this was originally 10-foot tall Johnson grass. We're bringing in nut trees. This is going to be kind of a nut grove. So we've got 2 pecans. I think we're just going to kind of continue to bring trees in here and just let it fill in. But over on the north side of the property, with the help of Nathan, Amanda, and Emily, we put in a row of plums. So we called the Kansas Forestry Service and put in an order got 40 of these American plums. I don't think we've lost a single one. They all are very happy over here. So we put them along the property line, and then starting at the power pole, we did sand plums all the way up the other end. And then to the inside of them, we've got a staggered row of pinyon pines. So those are all doing pretty well also. I think there are only a few that aren't looking very good. So this sour cherry was here when we moved in, and it put on a heck of a crop last year. And so we got another sour to go with it. They're pretty hardy, and they only require one to pollinate. So if we were going to bring in some sweets, we'd need multiple. So we just went with another sour cherry. As you can see, it's got fruit all over it. It's really tough to pit. It's got big seeds and just a little bit of flesh, but they are very good. So this is our biggest apple tree, and believe it or not, we cut a third of it back this year, trying to get it back into shape. But we have this one that puts on some pretty large red sweet fruits, and then we have 3 smaller ones. They put on a smaller pink fruit that's incredibly sweet. And we had a heck of a crop last year, so we're hoping to do pretty well on that front. Our apples are looking good already. They're getting there. One of the additions we did last fall was some peach trees. So we have 3 different peaches. We have a Belle of the South, a Reliance, and a Bagel. We've already got a few peaches on. Out front we put in an Oregon Trail maple, a swamp white oak, and then we brought in, I'm not sure how much dirt, probably, I don't know, 7,000 pounds of dirt, and filled in the big trough that was there. And eventually there will be an LP generator back in that corner, but in the meantime we've got a bunch of shrub roses that went in. We're pretty lucky to have a quarry over the hill. So far we brought in 10,000 pounds of rock, and haven't gotten very far. Filled in the big holes, but definitely takes a lot more rock than I ever expected. Definitely hard to see up here, but had mowed a path, and we've got 25 ponderosa pines running the length of the front. So hopefully eventually we'll have a bit of a noise barrier. So here, this is my Perotia persica. It's a Persian ironwood. And then we brought in another path and put some more stairs on that end of the deck. And this will be an herb garden. It'll probably won't be ready till next year. We've been bringing in dirt. That's probably 7,000 or 8,000 pounds of dirt. But we also added a fire pit, so do a little cooking on that. And all the trees we've been cutting down fuel the fire. Over here we have a couple catalpas. One of them we brought from in town, and another one my parents gave us. So hopefully those will eventually give us a little bit of shade on this end.